The world has fallen to the vampire horde led by Nightwing, but a resistance has begun to form, being led by Barbara Gordon. Supergirl and Jaina are also heading off to Australia to try and find answers over there with John Constantine, and Green Arrow is trying to free all of the humans who have been penned up inside of a human blood farm. There's a lot going on in DC vs. Vampires, and I am loving this series, but you have found yourself a comic historian where I bring you dramatic readings of some of your favorite comic books right here. The purpose is to allow you to know what to collect and what's going on in the world of comics, so when you go to your local comic book store, you will not be confused, and we are here to help. Now let's get into DC vs. Vampires issues 9 and 10. The sun continued to set over the Coral Sea as Black Manta tells John to wake up. In a panic, John Constantine gets up asking, "Are they under attack again?" And Manta tells him to be quiet, they have not returned yet. John looks over as Supergirl and Jaina are sleeping, asking if they should be woken up, and Manta tells him no. Let them sleep just a little bit longer. John gets up, looking at the land far away, and asks if that's it. He's informed that it is Australia, and that they wouldn't have made it this far without his determination. John tells him that it was rough, only fair that the ocean quiets down now to give them a smooth ride now that they're done. Manta looks around. He begins to panic. Quiet? Oh no, wake the others, we're about to be under attack. Meanwhile, over on the blood farm in Smallville, two vampires are patrolling the encampment when one of the humans yells out that they need food in here, can't keep taking blood without replacing what they're taking. One of the vampires tells the woman to get back or he'll make her dinner right now. They'll eat when he says so. A young man steps forward. The old lady was rude to talk to you like that, but she's right, it's kind of getting dire in here. We're no good to you dead, are we? The vampire asks what does he want him to do. The moss shipments have been delayed, so they're rationing. But while they're speaking, a man stands behind them, and suddenly, an arrow is shot through the back of the guards' heads. The other vampire watches as his partner burns, and he spins back with the young man grabbing him. This is my favorite part! And he too was shot. Green Arrow walks up to the fence, telling the man that he appreciates the assist. But, do I know you? The man says that he doesn't think so. His name is Cole Cash. They have about 90 seconds until the next patrol comes by, so he might want to get moving. Green Arrow quizzes real quick, though, about when the big man comes out. Cole informs him that they almost never see that guy. The only people who have seen him don't tend to come back alive, but he might be in luck. The big guy flew out this morning, and 10 seconds till the guards arrive. Green Arrow fires 2 arrows into the next patrol. I'll come back when he's around. Thanks again. Back out on sea, John Constantine, Jaina, and Supergirl and Black Manta continue to fight off the Atlanteans, with Jaina stating that these ones are tougher than the ones before. Manta says that that's because of the Royal Guard. It also means that he is here. As John asks what does he mean, Aquaman rises out of the waves, coming crashing down on the boat. While the others are swept away, Manta yells to not be a coward and face him! Aquaman stops, eyeballing his former enemy. You are not Black Manta. He died a coward's death in the first days of our conquest. And yet now there is someone else here pretending to be him, sneaking through the waters like a lowly river eel. I must ask, imposter, who would dare enter a kingdom and call the king a coward? Black Manta takes off the helmet, revealing themselves to be Queen Mara. A queen would. Aquaman hesitates for only a moment before reaching out, but Mara tells him not to speak to her as if he knows her. But back over in Smallville, one of the officers stops by a guard post, asking about the 2 vanishing patrols. The Lord has returned and he will want. Suddenly, he's shot from behind by an arrow, his body turning to ash, and Green Arrow calls out, I'm here to talk to your boss, so can we just go ahead and blow the little whistle? Just as he requested, the alarms go off as an army of vampires all charge towards him. Green Arrow begins to rapid fire as many arrows as he can, trying to stop them. Among the group is a large vampire, and Green Arrow says that that is not the big guy that I was referring to. The vampire gets closer, asking, You don't know who I am? I'm Loose Cannon, and you will learn. Green Arrow fires 2 arrows into Loose Cannon's eyes. But before Green Arrow could finish the job, a man grabs the arrow, telling him, That is enough. Oh, hello there, Carter. Hello, Oliver, Hawkman tells him. Back out at sea, Supergirl and Jaina look over the edge of the boat. We have to save her. And Jaina responds, We can't do anything here. John tells them both, No, stay here. Mara is buying us time. That's our priority right now. At that moment, Aquaman jumps back onto the boat, telling Supergirl that it's been too long. You're looking weak, powerless. It's unbecoming of you. You should join us, like Kal-El did. Supergirl tells him that he is better than this, and Jaina takes the form of a water bear, grabbing Aquaman from behind, freezing herself to hold him in place. Aquaman laughs. You take the form of water to attack me? I am the Lord of Water, child. It is mine to command. With a light gesture, Jaina is destroyed into thousands of little pieces. Supergirl watches as her newfound friend is murdered, and Aquaman turns to her. Come now, it's time for you to join the winning team. Aquaman is then smacked on the side of the head by a hammer, and as Aquaman looks at his own blood, he comments that it's been a while since he's seen it. It's so different now. John goes for another swing, but Aquaman grabs the handle. You're strong, but you are no match for me. Maybe not, but she is, and Aquaman looks back as Mara launches herself out of the water. You always leave before the job is finished. The impact destroys the boat, and as Supergirl tries to stay above water, she calls out for help as her legs are tangled. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of Gotham, Frankenstein readies the boat, and Barbara says that they go in fast and quiet. As soon as they land, they're going to sink the ship and get underground. Harley asks what if they've been seen, and a voice tells them that if they are, then they're dead. But he can get them into Gotham. Barbara looks back. Damian? You're alive? But Frankenstein informs her. No, he's not. He's a vampire. Damian flashes his fangs. Who put the big brain into Frankie? But spare parts, it's right, I'm a vampire. And I'm your best, last, and only shot at stopping Nightwing. As the small boat begins to sail towards Gotham, everyone notices the flying vampires keeping watch over the city's shores. Black Canary says that if he has a distraction, now might be a good time to use it. Damian tells her not yet. But at that moment, Black Adam sees them, and Barbara says, yeah, if you're gonna do something, now would be a good time. But again, Damian tells her, not yet. Harley grabs her stake, telling Damian that he better do it now before they all get burnt to a crisp. Fine. Kate, you there? It's time. As Black Adam comes rocketing towards the boat, he finds himself struck by something and he falls into the water. Harley asks what was it, and Damian tells her that he borrowed some of Constantine's people in order to get her, though she might come in handy, especially when annoying Dick. Damian informs everyone that Starfire will have to recharge. They need to get into Gotham before they're seen again. But meanwhile, back over in Smallville, Hawkman brings Green Arrow into the camp chained up. The war is over. Your side lost a long time ago, Oliver. But it's nice of you to even come by, even if it was to kill me, because now we can have a chance to talk. Lead these humans, be an ambassador, tell them to lay down their arms. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, Carter. And if I wanted to kill you, I'd have done it already. What I'm offering is the same thing. Turn back on these monsters. Free these innocent people. Save whatever of Carter Hall is left in there. Hawkman takes Green Arrow's bow and snaps it. You are foolish. You can sit here and rot with the rest of them. Back with the others, Damian lights a torch, tossing it into the boat that they've arrived on, and Black Canary asks what the hell is he doing. I'm sinking the boat. We have to cover our tracks. How are we supposed to get out then? Canary asks. But another voice laughs. Poor innocent little birdie doesn't get it. No one gets out of Gotham. Punchline walks out of the shadows and Harley grabs her stake. Oh, I figured that trash like you would team up with King Dick. Oh, I don't work for Nightwing. In fact, quite the opposite. I run the black market here in Gotham. Just like you and Selena did. Poor Miss Selena. Harley is surprised she took over her old gig, and then realizes that Punchline is just the worst. Not a single original idea in her head. But the others then ask her if she's willing to help them, as she doesn't appear to be working for Nightwing. She informs them that she never said that. Back over on the western coast of Australia, John carries Supergirl out of the ocean and begins to perform CPR on her. She begins to cough as she spits up all of the water inside, asking if she's dead. Where are the others? John tells her that the last she saw of Mara, she was fighting Aquaman, and as for Jaina, suddenly, the water that Supergirl spits up and takes shape, and Jaina tells them all that she's there. Wait, were you? Supergirl asks, and Jaina interrupts her. Inside you? Yeah, I took the form of water and gave what oxygen I could to block out the harmful seawater. Okay, that's gross. Then Jaina tells Supergirl that she's welcome. But back over in Gotham, Punchline has her muscle throw everyone into a holding cell. Barbara asks what does she plan on doing with them. Punchline tells her that she hasn't figured it out yet. However, she might be willing to let them go if they do a favor for her. And this one isn't a biter. Barbara tries to argue, but Punchline informs them that if they're not willing to work it out, they can just stay here. So back in Smallville, Green Arrow begins to wander through the camp, and Cole spots him asking that was a heck of a plan. Green Arrow ignores the comment, asking if there's any water that he can get. Cole tells him not really, it's actually been pretty bad. So Green Arrow begins to take off a necklace and begins to unzip his pants. Cole throws his hands up. Whoa, 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 whoa! But Green Arrow tells him that he just needs the moisture. Once the two relieve themselves on the pendant, Cole again, what now? Suddenly the pendant then begins to grow. And Green Arrow says that he's sorry about that, as Swamp Thing fully grows out of the urinated on pendant. We will never speak of this again, Oliver. Back in Gotham, one of Punchline's enforcers come in to check on Harley and find a straw girl in her bed. The man asks Quinn, and a naked Harley Quinn jumps out of the shadows, slamming the man's face into the wall, leaving him unconscious. Harley sneaks out into the hallway, seeing Barbara and Punchline, and asks, wait, am I having that dream again? Barbara asks, why are you naked? Harley looks at everyone who isn't locked away and shouts, am I again the only one that got locked up? Black Canary tells her that Punchline let them out and sent a guard to go get Harley. Harley then blinks and asks, wait, did you realize how wrong it was to lock everyone up? Damian walks in holding a bag. No, she just found someone who understood the importance of this mission. He holds up the head of Two-Face, telling Punchline that Dent is dead and they're square now. He then turns to leave as Harley asks what are they supposed to do with the kid, because she should probably go get dressed now. Later out in the city, Damian asks what trick does she have up her sleeve to try and pull this off, and Barbara pulls off a tarp, revealing a bat signal. This, as the light shines on, it shines a beacon into the sky bright enough that all of the Resistance fighters can see it. Damian shouts at her, are you out of your mind? Everyone will know where we are! At that moment, a vampire comes swooping in, and Barbara turns the signal and incinerates him. Yeah, I made a few upgrades to the bat signal. At that moment, another light turns on, and another, and Damian looks up. You planted these throughout the city? Alright, I'm impressed. Harley bats away one of the vampires, crawling towards him. Yeah, don't get me wrong, this is pretty cool, but we may have the last element of surprise here. Barbara says that he always knew that she'd come. He's been visiting her in her dreams, and he expected her, but now he knows she isn't alone. As the rest of the lights turn on, they all focus directly at Nightwing's tower. And the final battle will be happening soon. And there you have it, issues 9 and 10 of DC vs. Vampires. Now 11 just dropped. We're also gonna go wrap up All Out War. This series is coming to its conclusion, and I'm trying to get you prepped up because of DC's big revamp happening in January. So we gotta wrap up all of these awesome storylines. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll be bringing you another chapter of this very, very soon, a lot sooner than you would expect out of our channel normally. And I wanted to ask your opinion on us doing this. Kind of waiting until midway through the story and then just doing all of it back to back to back, so you kind of can get hyped up and see it coming. What do you guys think of this style? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to join us over at our Patreon to get early access to the videos. You can also join up on YouTube memberships to get early access, and I'll see you guys next time, right here.